going to show you how to make this little bag, and we're going to use our sample, our test pieces that we use for free motion quilting practice. It also has a zip in it, and these are the pieces I use. This is what I've done to make my videos, and so I'm using these to make the bag. It's a good way to use them up. We also need some continuous zipping, some strapping, square off ruler and a marking pen and our rotary cutter. And from there we should be able to make this bag. First of all, we need a sample piece. This piece is 26 by 16. The size doesn't have to be exact. I've done one at 27 by 17. It really just, this piece, sample piece, was 26 by 16. I also have some lining. Now this is the lining I would use on skirts and blouses, things like that. And I've actually joined it together to make it the size I want it to be. And it's to be exactly the same size as this one. And we need to fold this in half. Put a pin in it so it doesn't move. And now I want to put a 2-inch cut, square cut in each side. So I'm going to mark this first, and I'm using my square ruler here. So I'll just put a 2-inch cut there, there, and on these ones as well. Nice sharp scissors. And now we've got this shape. We now need to do exactly the same with the lining. So now they are both the same. We now need to do the straps, and I have black wadding here to do that. And I want my straps to be 30 inches because I want the bag to hang over my shoulder but not away down. So just cut 30 inches twice. You can make handles with fabric if that's what you choose. I just find it much easier to do this. So we now take these, and we have this measurement and this measurement. The quick way is to fold it in half, mark the centre, hold that up to there, mark that centre and that centre, and do the same on that side. We then want 3 inches. On that mark on both sides, and place your strap in the centre of it. Now it's up to you whether you fold this in or you do what I do. I have this little gadget, thread zapper, and I want these ends sealed, and when you press it, it comes like a little pilot light. So I just run it along there. Do that on all sides. Put your straps on both sides. So when I need to go and sew it here, we don't want it to be much above this cut. So you just want a double stitch around on all four sides. I've come back and I've sewn my straps into place, and you need to fold them into the centre. Bring this back up on each other. And just put a pin there to keep it in place on both sides. Okay, and we need to go away and sew down this side and this side, and we need to do exactly the same on the lining. Let's go and sew down the two sides, but leave an opening on this side so you can bring the bag through. So I've sewn down both sides, and we're now going to do the corners here, and I'm going to flatten out that seam, and I'm going to flatten out that seam. I'm doing all the seams the width of my foot, so they're all consistent, the width of the foot. I'll just make that into the middle, open it up, and we'll sew that one, and we will do the same on the lining, and we have left an opening, but we will do the corners just the same. So I have sewn the four corners in, and we need just to turn it around into the right way and poke out your corners. So it's now looking like that. We've got the lining here. We need to put the bag inside the lining, right sides together. Match up the sides. Put your straps down inside, and then match up these edges. We now need to go right round the bag, the top of the bag, so then we can turn it in the right way. I've sewn it all the way around. Now we just need to go in and clip the corners. And now we just need to turn it in. So we need to pull it through the gap we left in the lining. We now need to pull it all the way through. Not the easiest of tasks, I don't think. Push out your points, top and bottom. And we need to go now and sew down this side, and then we need to push it inside. I've sewn up the seam inside, I've pushed it inside and pushed out my points, and now we need to take it away and iron it, pushing the lining slightly to the inside. And when we've done that, we're going to top stitch all the way around it. And we also, when we've top stitched all the way across here, we also need to do a line across here. This will be your zip guideline. So the lining's attached, it's been top stitched all the way around, and we now need to put our zipping in. This line that I put across here is 1 3/4 inches from the top on both sides, so that when I come in to put my zip in, it's going to be in the same place. So I have a continuous zip here, and I'm going to make it the length of my bag. First of all, I need to make sure I've got one of these in there before I cut. So it's up to you whether you have the zip showing, whether you put it in like this or have an invisible zip. The zip in my other bag is like that. So with the continuous zip, we need to take our little zipper off so that we can pin both of them on. So we know this is on the outside. So you turn it over on itself, and pin it right along your line. Putting your straps out of the way, and just check that if you were to put these two ends together, you could add your zipper on. And when you've done that, just sew along here, and we'll then put the zipper bit on. I've come back and I've sewn the two ends in. We now need to put the zipper part on, so I need to line this up a bit. Just make sure that these two ends are exactly the same. And I will attempt to put the zipper on. You need to turn it and let it stamp. You need to turn it so that the flat bit is on the counter, like that. And I don't think I can do it in front towards the camera because it's not going to work. I will give it a go, but I don't think it'll work. It'll be round the wrong way, to be honest. So I've got that sitting like that. And we now need to grab the two ends, place them into there, to each side, and push it down till it clicks. And once you've got it to click in, it will just pull up. Takes a bit to get it done, takes a bit to do it, but it can be done. From there I'm going to add end covers, and I'm going to use my webbing, and I'm going to have 2 inches twice, and I'm going to put it over the end like that on both sides and sew it. So there's our bag all done with zip in, and we can put buttons here on all four whatever you decide to embellish it more, you can do so. Now I like my bag, the base, to be a little bit stiffer, especially if you want to put feet on it. And I have these plastic little grids. I think they're used for doing tapestry on. I'm not awfully sure, but I think it's for that sort of thing. And I've cut them 4.5 inches by the length, and I've cut 2 bits and put them together, and I've put them in a little pocket like this, and I'm just going to pop it in, push it into the corners, be creative if you want and hand stitch it, put a bit of glue in, doesn't really matter, just push it in and it makes the bag sit. We have here our 3 bags all nicely finished. I've added buttons onto them. I've also done the inside so that it's got a stiffer bottom. I've also taken the pleat and I've just give it a little stitch down each one, just so it stays in place. It doesn't stop you opening your bag, but it just gives it a better finish. This is a great way to use up your practice pieces. The ones I use for the tutorials for the video, these are all the pieces that I have. And if they haven't been long enough, I've added 2 together. These 2 have got a back. This one has got a different back to its front, simply because it wasn't long enough, so I joined it at the bottom, and the rest were long enough to do. It's quite a nice little gift for family and friends, and I hope you will give it a go.